Well, it's a blustery, windy day. Rainy. It's nasty outside. I was hoping to do some work out on my ice shack, but in order to get there, I got to get the canoe out, which means I'm going to get soaked just getting the canoe out and paddling out to the dock. Plus, I got out here and I noticed that one of the pipes that I had driven into the floor of the lake has come loose or out, and it's just hanging on by one pipe. And of course it's windy, so it's blowing it around. And that shed is 7 foot tall, 7 foot wide, 7 foot deep, 8 foot tall in the center. So it's like a big sail out there, catching all the wind that's coming across the lake right now. So I got to try to figure something out and see what I can do about it. The fall colors have shown up. They're pretty. I like the red and the yellow and the green all right next to each other like that. It's beautiful out here. Even my dogwood's showing some color against the maple tree that's turning yellow slowly, and then of course the arborvitae's behind it. Okay, I'm in my ice shack, and one of the poles pulled out of the bracket that was holding it in place. So what I'm going to have to do is try to figure out how to move my ice shack a little closer to the shore. I've got two other poles that I can use, but they're not long enough for this deeper water. So there's a berm, I think I've showed it to you in my past videos, that runs across the edge between my two properties here, where I used to be a pond before this lake was built. And they just broke the dam out when the lake was finished and let the water run in and out. So I want to get as close to that berm as I can, because the best fishing's in the deeper water. And I've got this catch cover down here underneath right here that I want to use for ice fishing, and it has to be over the deeper water. So I'm out here on the lake. I've got my canoe, and I've got to figure out how to twist this thing. Right now I'm facing almost straight south, not quite, but awful close to it, and it's supposed to be facing east. So I'm going to have to pull up a pole. I found the other pole that slipped out. I'm going to grab it and see if I can pull this thing a little closer to the shore so that I can get those other two pipes that are laying in my canoe right there driven into the ground to hold this thing in place. It's going to take 4 to hold it steady. Well, this is the interior of the ice shack. I got my little table set up, and I've got a buddy heater, and I've got plates, a coffee cup, a little coffee percolator over there with my little stove and gas bottle, a fillet knife and scaler and fishing pole. Got another fishing pole over here, and my cot, which happens to be full of fishing gear right now because I'm on the dock fishing. I've already caught 3 bass, threw them back. They weren't worth keeping, not going to mess with it. But I got the other pole back in place temporarily. Hopefully we won't get a whole bunch of strong winds and it won't blow my ice shack clear down to the other end of the lake, where I'll have to drag it back. But I'm looking for a calmer day to be able to put it over where I want it. So it's a wait and see situation. Hey folks, it's Greg. You're watching Greg's Country Cabin Outdoors. Hope you're having a great day. Um, it's a windy and rainy day. I was supposed to work. I got a text message. I was off for the day. So I decided to come out to the cabin and take some stuff out to my ice shack. And I got out here, and that was when I found out that one of the poles on my ice shack had bent over. And the ice shack was only holding on by one pole. And the wind's blowing and it's turning around and doing all kinds of funny things out there on the water. And I didn't want to go out there in the rain. I had to get out on my canoe to get out there. And that meant getting soaked. So I waited until the rain was done, went out, and I found the other pole that had kinked over, and I figured it was laying on the bottom, but apparently it landed on a tree that's down in the water. So I was able to retrieve it, and I took a couple other poles that were 9 foot long down with me in order to be able to re-anchor that ice shack. And they're not long enough. The water's 10 foot deep right there, and it's down 2 feet from what it was. So I'm going to have to make some changes of some sort. I don't know exactly what. The poles that I need to get will have to be heavier than what I've got in there now. These are top rails for a Cyclone fence, and they're about 18 feet long, but they've worked up until the wind kicked up to about 60 miles an hour out here. They've done a good job. It gives the dock an opportunity to float up and down with the water level, and it keeps it fairly stable. It's not perfectly stable. I can't anchor it and pull the line tight in order to hold it in place because of the fluctuating water levels out on the lake. So I've decided that I'm going to get some heavier poles, and I'm going to move it closer to the berm. I'm pretty sure I've showed you the berm when the water level was down, that is between the cabin property and the shed tow property that goes across the lake. And I'm going to try to move it closer to that and get it in a situation where it can't move other than up and down, and go from there. I've thought about bracing it, and I just haven't figured out how to go about bracing it so that I can keep it steady. I know what I need to do, I just don't know how I'm going to do it. But anyway, I've got a little buddy heater in there, and I've got my fishing gear in there, I've got my cot in there, I've got a pillow. I don't have any sleeping bags or anything like that. My buddy heater right now runs on the little 1 pound cylinders, and it'll only run for 5.4 hours before that cylinder runs out. So I'll probably have to get a hose and hook it up to a 20 pound cylinder so that I can keep it warm in there in the wintertime. The buddy heater that I bought has a dual setting. It can be either 4,000 BTUs or 9,000 BTUs. It's supposed to heat up to 750 square feet. That little shack down there is 49 square feet. I'm pretty sure it'll keep me warm in the wintertime. I'm not really too concerned about it. Yes, I have made a ice shack wood stove, but I'm not putting it in a plastic shed. If I'm going to build an ice shack out of wood with a chimney, flue pipe, and all that goes through the roof that's OSHA approved, then yes, I'll do that. But I'm not going to do that through a plastic roof or plastic sidewall. It's just not going to happen. I'm not going to do it. The buddy heater that I've got, there's enough ventilation in that little shed that I don't have to worry about asphyxiation. There's 2 gable end vents and 2 roof vents, as well as plenty of leakage around the sides where it's fastened together. It's not sealed by any means. Plus, I can always crack a door open. In fact, I've got to figure out how to get the door to stay shut while I'm inside, because there's no latching system for the inside. There is a latch for the outside and a lock, which it is locked right now, but I can actually slide that latch over and put the lock back on it and lock it, so that if I'm inside there, nobody can accidentally lock me in. Yeah, the light's flashing because the phone is trying to focus on me. It doesn't know whether to focus on me or focus on outside. As long as I'm moving, it's focusing on me. When I get out of sight, it focuses outside. So, yeah, you're looking at light flashes, but that's all right. They're not hot flashes, just light flashes. But anyway, it's been a crazy day. I've had a few of those in the past week. I've managed to get a lot done in spite of the fact that we've had a lot of rain. There's more on the way. It's cooling off considerably. Yesterday was a beautifully warm day. Got up to 82 degrees here in central Illinois. But now it's down in the 40s. So I'm looking at freezing temperatures at night, getting back up into the 50s in the weekend. But I don't care. I'm in no hurry to get anything done out there in the shack, as long as it doesn't blow away. If I can get it moved on a calm day, I'll do that. Get it set in where I want it. I have a post driver. I can drive down pipes that are 2.5 inches in diameter. Well, 2 inches in diameter at least. But I can drive those down, get that thing stable. Right now, like I said, it's a top rail for a Cyclone fence. It's thin metal. That's what caused it to bend. The fact that it's stuck in the ground 3 feet, and there was 12 feet above ground, and that dock was being pushed around by the wind. It's a 7x7 shed on top of it, and the peak is 8 foot. So there's plenty of sail pressure there. The wind is my worst enemy right now. But hey, I'll figure it out. Stay tuned. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and click that little bell icon to make sure you get notified whenever I put up a new video. Thanks for watching.